Sanibonani bafethu emakhaya, sanibonani wonke umuntu obukele. Sanamukela to another installment say what keeps you going with them Charlies. If you musha to the show, please ungakhohlwa ukusubscribe, ungakhohlwa ukushare, ungakhohlwa ukulike, ungayincishi ukuthi ukwazi ukuthola content ezosiza umshado wakho, ezosiza relationship yakho. So episode namhlanje it's very close to my heart. Ngine former classmate yami sibuya kude nalomuntu and sesihlangana la. So ngijabule kakhulu. Tebza.
Yes. I get Peter Moto njani.
Right. So usesesinaye namhlanje uTebogo Mahlanya, right? So wavuma Tebogo ukuthi umuntu wakhe akushintshe isithule lesibonga. But awutshela ngale encounter when you first heard ukuthi isibonga sakho Mahlanya.
Joe, it's a weird encounter basically. You've been talking to a person for a while, ne?
Yeah.
And wabona ra vibe. No, this is good. And then wabutsara how maras fansa how kima. And he doesn't say anything. For a while, he doesn't say anything until I visit his room. Big room ya high sharp umla the certificate on the wall there. Arakir no butu sakas fansa ka kiseli mo. And then you go and read and go, ha! Yeah, by that time ipilu iresh.
So niyabona bafethu, we're not making this up, ne? Isibongo sakho uMahlanya.
Mahlanya munye bukoni.
So these days upizingani vele yini occupy nje?
Matsatsi man. It's work.
Yeah.
Studies. I went back to school last year. And then I do gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cooking simple fine.
Yeah. And mangaba bakwazi ne, I think ama details akakhona uma Insta no Facebook la on the screen ukuthi now uthola ama tips ukuthi leyo weight uyisusa kanjani.
Yeah.
So
uyikuka dry.
Yeah. So ngifuna understand right ukuthi esimene sokusuba umfelokazi at this young age. How kuba kanjani manje ukuthi relationships wise, is it a problem or akunankinga nje kunormal?
Hey, wabana, when it comes to relationships, because mostly when a person comes into your life, utonzo explain basically this is who I am, this is where I come from, and this is where I am now. So sometimes man, it's off-putting, especially when you say to a person, I'm widowed with 2 kids. The first thing mutoi nakhanangur, so I'm going to be a stepfather. I must be responsible for 2 kids. How?
Sure.
So it's always that dynamic, especially guys our age. How many guys at the age of 35 have encountered a widow?
Sure.
It's not a lot. And you don't even think of a 28-year-old or 29-year-old as a widow. Wabo. So it's those dynamics. Most guys don't have kids. Some babalegi nganzabo. Then you come and say, hey, I have 2 kids and I'm widowed. They think, oh, the in-laws manje melengtile nama in-laws wake. No manje no. Yeah. So it's kind of a tricky environment.
So ipho feel ngathi nzima ukuthi widowed, right? Or ukuthi nabantwana abayi2 kuleko ipho feel ngathi abantu bay find it hard to deal with.
I think the circumstances ezingifikise towards being a widow are the hardest. And then for kids, you have to find somebody or related to kids. The thing is, these days, I have a girl and a boy, and both can be molested, both can be abused. So whoever that you bring into your life, you have to be sure within yourself that he's not going to try anything with my kids, because you can't hide the relationship forever. At one point, the kids and the new person will have to meet. So are you comfortable with the kids and this person being together in one place? So sure. that's the thing, a trick layer that you have to balance. Most people, especially matured people, don't care about the kids. But then yeah, when they come in, how comfortable are you, Guti? They're gonna get along first of all, because you are not necessarily looking for a stepfather for the kids. Yeah. You just need somebody who's gonna gel well, because see, right, we understand environment yet, but when as the third person, how do you infuse into this life as in your manj?
Sure. So would you say now, say changile ama-specs akho, for instance, mawufuna umuntu wesilisa ukuthi
Definitely.
now ufuna umuntu, if ngifune i-partner sengiyenza sure ukuthi kufuneka abe nabantwana na maybe ukuthi umuntu understandayo, seyishintshile mhlawumbe khona la ishintshe khona ukuthi ufuna umuntu osona so now compared to 10 years back.
Yeah.
Or Moses ever said.
Yeah, definitely. Because guys, bagcwele yonke indawo. There is no shortage of guys. There's guys everywhere. Like literally, there's guys everywhere. But then now you have to check. Do you understand? Yes, I'm a single woman, but I might not have time for you all the time. First of all, I'm a mom. I'm a full-time employee. I'm a student.
Sure.
Nakhona, I have a personal life outside of you. Nyajima, I have my friends here and there. So I'm not going to have a time for you. Sometimes our time will be mixed with the kids. Our time will be mixed with me going to gym, or our time will be you sitting here reading some stuff that I'm typing for an assignment. So you have to get somebody who's mature enough to understand it's not going to be all lovey-dovey, pack us in a vacation and then I must pack now. So it's stuff like that you have to navigate. Understand, hey, it's not going to be all about you.
Yeah. Because
I had a friend who would say, I'm not going to date a guy who has kids because it's not going to give me the time that I want. And it's understandable, because should anything happen and this guy needs to attend to his kids, you just have to tag along and attend to the kids. Or uzokushiya lapho ahamba you attending zakhe wherever they are. So it's a compromise that you have to go through.
Yeah, cool. Just finding umuntu right.
Yeah.
Besides uthando ukuthi ngingathandana, but zonke lezi zinto
compatibility, Joe. Lingqondo does this person think?
Yeah.
Hey, because there's guys that are good looking. I've encountered guys that are good looking. How bulamlum, you're like, serious? So you just realize man, no.
And that's one thing, cool. Many factors.
Yeah.
Before ungena good relationship.
Yeah, there's many factors.
Sometimes umuntu thokuthi uright enkulumeni.
Yeah.
But biology
ayivumi.
Ismail sakhe. Uyangithola into nje encane ayenzayo.
There's a lot of things, eh? I've encountered guys that look good. Noma uhamba naye bazovela basho ukuthi hey no ayinsizwa le. But then normal day-to-day conversations nje, you have to explain something guy 3 guy 4 athi hayi angiyazi leyo nto, like no man, I'm not saying be a genius, but kunezinye man, there's common things. Do you watch ngeke manje indaba yakazuma manje igcwele yonke indawo. I mean, things that happen abo Swaziland bayenzeka manje kuyafiwa. Even things that are happening in our own country, I need to be able to have a conversation nawe ukuthi man ucabangani la ndaba ukuthi man mele se vaccinate elwani umuntu ara vaccine uking vaccine hayi wena renali 2 years renali 2 years ribua ka corona, you still don't understand the dynamic. No man, some things man are weird.
Sure. All right, Tebza, asi story sakho la siqala khona kuwe nomyeni wakho, right?
Yeah.
Indaba yenu iqala kuphi?
Yeah.
For ama viewers angakwazi azwe nje story sakho, usitake nje through that, because uthando lumnandi manje luba mnandi. Manje uthi liyavutha kuba malangabi. So iqala kuphi journey yakho?
No, it started 2012 nini na January or so. Ngizibuyele emsebenzini, ngisasebenza eCapitec at that time. But at Capitec you'll always dress to the nines guy uniform. Dihili uright also nice ke itsamayela mola. Kutlo motho tsamaya ka momra waka. When you notice there's a person walking behind you, mara akina ku jiga. Ke itsamayela fela kwa sister. When I turn, there's this humongous guy. Wabona Batista umukana udi gold nyana mo milomong. He had 2 gold teeth, the front teeth. Stali le something else.
Sure.
His 2 front teeth were gold. How? Abuti and then okay. Kiteng wena okay. Kiteng. Kopa o khapa ai ke gona o itsamaela. Ansala morao. Ibla zanga bana le taba lena nna ke tsamaya ke moshia. I was like never. Abuti wa di gold. Nna never. Kurna go ke mzomba ne ke slender ke mokana ke nahana re o ha ka ntshwara mo utlo nroba mos. Kar never. Ibla zanga fela pelo shem. Every day ha ke boya mmerekong ke itsamela sister until ke be ke tena re o nyakang abuti.
Yeah.
No, go but number tsa hao. Ke mo file number tsa ka still ka mo sokodisa until March 2012 and then I gave up for I. Hone mo ntshetse morao o nyakang.
Yeah.
No, nna ke a o rata kopa re be something. Oh, okay. Okay, sharp. Nna ke na le ngwana. And the first thing he said, I know. What's it? Ria ke phela ko bona o feta mo ka di pampers ka di eng le ngwana hao ke monu tsamaya le yena. So I know you have a child. Hey, and I know you have a child. I was like, oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Nago Kopan was 2 years old. He had just turned 2 January. So he was still young. So he was like, yeah, no, get about Nalungwana and Linnakina Lungwana. Like, oh, okay, you have a child, I have a child, and that's fine. We can start this relationship. Because I niki put a fog off. We are guy.
Yeah. But I want to man kala mawibheka wena now. Vele boyitshela ukuthi izoba serious. Yobukile in 2000. Hathi sibone ifiyale noma iyale.
Neno butabatsa I need to kiyo consistent unthethe mra one day. Let me just give him a chance kuTuru.
Yeah. So Jen's consistency. Consistency
because sometimes man muthu unochazeya awubona ufita. But then the more you become difficult, they lose interest. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, you wait too salwena mo. Because ergo botse tau e fiwang nama ke ya go zoo fela ene e useless. Serious, tau e fiwang nama ke ya go zoo ene e useless ke cats.
Yeah.
A lion in its true nature goes out hunting.
True.
But in the natural sense of it, it's the females that hunt. But yeah, you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
A lion will go out and hunt. For it to eat, it will go out and hunt. Yeah. So anyone not like yemang moelan that her sister learn about hi puti. Got 2 days then with a problem. But then people encounter relationships in different ways. But yeah.
Sure. So send me tile so vumutazin. Uza naye nepikinini wakho nami ngiphethe wami asihlangana. So after St. Jola kuba kanjani ke? How's the relationship?
Oh, it was the nicest thing, hey?
Yeah.
But I had the father of my child who was not even remotely active in our lives. But then being comfortable to let him go anywhere begafuna ngakhona nomntwana. Remember I was working for the bank. And being sebenza Saturdays and Sundays. I'd call my mom ngisemsebenzi ke ma tlhapisa ngwana hona le motho a tlo motseyang. Sure. And my mom doesn't even know this guy. Ubona motho a kokota fela mo monyako a mofa ngwana. So that's the kind of relationship that I was comfortable in. Yeah. If I am comfortable enough to give you my child in my absence, you must just know Hori, that was perfect. He was the most perfect guy ever.
So you oyibonile, right? I'm from him allow you to be that comfortable. Ukuthazi actually anginankinga you can umntana mangabe ngekho mina ufika umthathe umise whatever la nifike khona.
Well, he was a gentle guy. Very gentle. We could talk literally about any and everything. For the longest time, bengithi mangishaisile noma ngishayise early, I'd go to past his house and sit there until 9 o'clock ebusuku. Suddenly mina bengingena ngo9 ebusuku every day. Ngishayisa ngo6 ebank ngena endlini ngo9. We could talk about any and everything. The most gentlest soul ever.
Sure.
Gentle. Sweetest. Naji mane, so he had this body that people wanted. but he was also a little bit boring. Those people, he's young, but everywhere. So he's almost a little boring. He was an old soul.
Plus, net diet, umuntu ojimayo.
Yeah.
Certain things like utshwala kuba a problem. Yeah.
Every he's just laid back guy, wa ijimela, una le koloi, u transporta di staff, u busy. So he was just that kind of a guy. Cool, down to earth, sharp.
So, sise ku first moment la khona sekenza ama intentions akhabe serious now ukuthi ngifuna ube more than a girlfriend. Benjani, or bekuyikasi style ukuthi hayi ngifuna ukuthi ube umme waboli lapha or be romantic.
No, what's why? It was very quick because within 6 months or so into the relationship, ke motho ne se tsabolela ka lenyalo nna ke nya go romela ba heshu kwenu. I was like, "Hi, when?" So early.
Unangakho wena at that time?
22. I was 22. 2012 I was 22.
And we expect time at all.
Oh, I was like, "Ha, lenyalo." Hi man, re thomile o jola ka March man, ke eng ka tse. How got June se tsobolela ka manyalo, and he was serious. Na ke nya go dlala le wena, like I found something I was looking for, ke nya ka unyala. Ow. Oh, aye manyana. And I delayed. I was like, oh, wow, it's so quick. Ke wena ke tlhakana le wena like malobanyana mo se tsonya ka unyala. So I delayed him until I fell pregnant the following year. 2013 I fell pregnant with my daughter. And then I was like, now I'm 23 years old. I'm pregnant with my second child. He's good with my son. So anyway, so after I gave birth in September, I rumela batho ba ko habo, and I think that was December. Yeah, December 2013. Ke rumela batho ba hae ba ko habo ko hae, and then they came bantshamahadi. It was fairly quick. And in Gebesika naked delay, it would have been the previous year. Sure. So, but that would have been weird. How? Yeah, even with my parents, they were like, how? I was like, yeah, well.
So, masekwenzeka lokho ufuna understand right isitori sakho sihle from isiqala to a proposal to yonke into uyangithola especially esikhathini samanje kunzima ukuthola umuntu ozokuthanda nezingane zakhe ngithola and asho uthando anga pretend ku genuinely I love you kids njengoba nawe ngikuthanda you understand so mase nishadile ke ufuna understand inkinga iqala kuphi because mangumbona this guy umuntu ozazi ukuthi ufuna ne life yini nama intentions akhe clear you understand mase nishadile senihlala nonke uqhubeka ngalo line osekhona izinto ezishintshayo
well first habasnonsamahadi that was December so January my parents sold the house we were living in they moved to a new house so now I couldn't move Lebona because now I'm married so we moved Kohabo so I was living Kohabo for a few months. I think we lived there about 8 months or so. Mo, it's still perfect. We're still living basically with his father. So Rikohabo, everything is still perfect. The kids, he does everything for the kids. Now I work weekends, so Kiena Salang Kohai Lebana. On Saturdays when I'm at work, Kiena Salang with a newborn. Kiena I eating everything Lebana. By 3 mo Nike, they come and fetch me later, or I just come back late.
Yeah. And that's umdlalo lo. Just for umuntu ongenayingane. Nabantwana abayi2 ne. I hardly get ukuthi ngibe situation where umngama ngekho ngiwani umntwana. Uyangithola. But noma ekhona ngumsiza I can ngiyabona how ukuthi ngiyi1 njo. So to have a man who can do that, I understand. Like,
I didn't even have a doubt. He would send pictures, killing miracle. And they'd be playing mole, no problems. Sure. I still have a lot of pictures where it's just the 3 of them. And the one thing, even as they were growing up, no, they still have a picture that I don't have of this man. Because the kind of relationship they have, I've never seen him dance ever in my life. But the kids will tell you, Papa na jaivela pina eh.
Sure.
Papa wa jaiva. But the kids have this relationship with their dad that I've never seen or experienced.
And nengane yakho as well.
Exactly. Yes, the three of them had a relationship that I've never had now with this man. Ever. There's things that I've seen that I've never seen. So that's how beautiful father-child relationship they had between themselves that I've never had to experience now with this man.
Yeah. So, uthi abantwana so but kuwe khona la.
No, I was. The thing is, people hide their trauma very well because the minute Motu start out behave a certain way, you have to know where there's childhood traumas that contribute to that. But I didn't know. So here we are. We had to move out eventually and get our own space. Everybody that's married knows there's a time where you just need your own pots, you need your own stuff. If I need to be comfortable in my own space, or today I can't be. So we had to get our own little cottage, so we moved out from Kohabon. From then on, I started noticing, man, something is wrong here. Because removing it out, I think that was 2014. Yes, 2014, Cabo August, we moved from his family house to our own cottage. First Christmas that we had, he disappeared. The whole day. I'm excited. This is our first Christmas as a little family. Disappeared the whole day. My phone. My cousin comes, because now it's getting late. This guy,
no communication.
Nothing. When he comes back, since ke tshola plate montsheare ke ela mona ha ke ena fela o re ke o tsholetse nnamo ke re wa ditse ya di fa chomi ya hae ambongse no ru tshwere ke tlala so ke re ke mo fe plate my heart. I was like, the whole day ke a pheha. I'm envisioning this lunch that we're gonna have as a family for the first time, our first Christmas. What disappear? How we are with their plate here we fa chomi ya. It was like that, and from then on, I started noticing man, motho o hona le mo a disappearang a yang ko teng, hona le dilonyana tse sa adding up tsa di etsang.
So the childhood trauma khuluma ngayo mhlambe just to link it to a behavior yenzayo. Yini ocabanga uthenze ku childhood elinka to a certain behavior before ibona?
I mean, people are insecure and they hide it very well. You'll only see it in the way they treat you. Hurumuto unale problem. Thing is, unale abu ngwana ko habo omnyan. So the relationship they had with their father is completely different. The father was very hard on him. He was extremely harsh and hard. Even through our marriage, I've seen it. He was very hard on him. But on the brother got everything. Even now, it's not like unale ntwe ana direction. Ne? But then he still gets what he wants from the father. Sure. Him on the other side, uzamilo rafetsa skolo matric nyana azama rabe independent aiperekele, but still the father was very harsh on him rather than the younger brother. So those things and later on before, well, let me not jump the gun, but later on before he passed, he actually got to tell the father, this is how you treated me and I never liked it. You treated me so badly, I even felt like I was not your child. Yeah. That's something he expressed to the father. Sure. So those kind of traumas will come out in relationships.
It ends the sense, right? Yeah. Last born. Mawuzi daughter, my siblings, mama dala. How my parents were hard on them. Yeah. And I didn't experience that. You understand? Yeah. So you can understand Leon Tele without consciously being aware ukuthi lo mncane animkhulisi ngendlela thina enasikhulu.
It is the same with me. Well, with my parents, my mom and dad never got married.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one that doesn't belong. I'm just in the middle. So here I am with my mother and my stepfather, and here I am on this side with my father and my stepmother. So I'm the only one who doesn't share both parents. So you understand with the way it was not the same as my little brothers that come after me. Because I remember metric at some point. I don't have to go to school. My little brother, Onglandelayo, begaqala grade 1. Our age gap is like 12 years between me and my brother.
Yeah.
So, yena i-transport yakhe imlinde egate. Umama muthi vuka ukhaphe umntwana e-transportini. I had to walk from Vusmuzi to Muteung by myself. Going to school because Sotlwana Primary was all the way on the other side. Yeah. So I had to walk, jump enuka and go to school. But lo mncane lo mele ngivuke ngimkhaphe i-transport imlinde egate. Those are the kind of things that happen. School. The difference in the way you treat us affects us in the long run. Yeah. But abazali bethu are never conscious to that.
And sometimes not conscious.
Hey, you act out ebantwini abarong. Because you'll go out looking for love because you don't feel it necessarily at home. So you go, that's why people stay in toxic relationships. Yeah. It's because I feel like because sometimes yeah. I've never heard it from my parent.
So when my parents experience
exactly.
No, we are police at least.
Hey, we are police at least. No man ngabe na you igundwane lo uyaluba police. Ngale aba police, they don't even care. Mawuqala uthi hey trauma yayingi imontoni yaka Tebogo. So you understand what but it's bad, especially in our households.
Sure. So going back to our disappearing ex. Iyama lapho or iyaqhubeka the behavior.
Iyaqhubeka. I mean, at some point as gicho na transporter staff. So airport staff, the security and all of that, you understand very inflexible hours. Sometimes staff sa ko airport sikena ka 3. So it turns out to 2 at some point. So there was a time for a week or so. Habo yaka 12 at Lorobal. There'd be a call. And at that time, not only this ringtone that calls out people's names. It would say, Zio, now calling. How Zio and then? Got to after sky twar. I gave it to a staff, maybe na go put circuit over la. At first, I would see a little oh, okay. It makes sense. Yeah. Aye man. Bekeli beke, this person was phone.
Same name. I shouldn't let him tell it.
Zio, now calling. How? And then you start to but can't Zio okay ma? Hi. First, we'd say, hi, no, get me go skolong. I think he created 6 different explanations. Until one day, I changed her cell phone. I shared the old one in the car. And I was using the car that day. Okay, cell phone. Okay, switch her on so nice and go through it. Oh, the numbers are Zio kids. Oh, so nice. Can it save? The numbers are Zio. Zio. Save. That's what I'm on. One day, I'm scrolling through WhatsApp. Okay, abona Zio kiyo man high profile picture man Zio nice uti makeup ile weave klapa mu manala up to date mo gelo sexy. I was like, oh, okay. Hi, who be right? I reqhubeke antsali busy the disappearing acts tsa high metlholo eo until one day ali busy ka di drum tsa papa high. Ubula di drum.
Yeah.
Ka what's this now? What's this tool na gonchi? Ke lebala.
Yeah.
So u busy u sega di drum tse wa di bula and then that thing ya mo khatha mo letsogong. It's like a saw. Like to a point where his hand opened up. So I have to take him to the doctor naturally. Ha re fitla kwao ke kopa file. A ke kopa file ya Mahlanya so. I ausuela innocently wa intsha. Ha e bula o re o tlisitse e re ke change lebitso. O re o tlisitse Rose. How Rose? Rose ke mang? A re no ke ngwana. Last time ha tla mo manana le fever man. Terrible hampe, she had to be referred to the hospital. How? Ke re na ke na ngwana o ba reng ke Rose. Ke tlisitse Kgothatso. A ba re oh, ke ena the main member anyway ya file. So page ya teng e teng a tlosa ele ya Rose a itlisa ka motlasa a tlisa ya Kgothatso mo ding. O fa file. Re kene go doctor ba mo tlhapise ba mo roke sharp. Doctor ha etswa ke ra hey abuti. Rose ke mang? Hi, ke ngwana cousin ya ka. Ai re nyetse motho wa modimo rena le mengwaga re nyetse ke cousin ya hao e feng ena le ngwana o ke sa motsebeng. Ke mang? Arai a tshware kwa tlohele. Ai okay. Re tsamaye re boele hae. Ke sa botsisa wena Rose ke mang? Ha bolele. Ya nna ke tsebe why o rata go question ha kana. Oh, ke a question. Oh okay, a re tlohele. Come September, I'm scrolling through WhatsApp. It's modimo ke gala mpontsha dilo tse ke sa nya go di bona. Ke scrolla through WhatsApp, Zio phela o re happy birthday Rose my daughter. Hoibo. Kanjani? Motho wa modimo. Ke yo phela Zio wa hao. Status sa hae se re happy birthday Rose my daughter. Motho o founela ka 12 bosiu. Ho etsahalang mo? Ya angere go buditse vele hore ke na le ngwana o mongwe. Ngwana o mongwe? Sure. Another child. Apparently, he was dating somebody in 2011. They had a child and then broke up for whatever reason. Within that breakup, la 2 months, how? Ha bua I have a child. U bua ka go next door. O mogolo. Ai lo munyo mncane. Wathula ka omnyane. Tu until I find out that way there's another child here.
So how do you take those news?
How do you take them, Vele? Because it's always a shock. Like how mutho o fitla motho wa phela. The main reason I said to you usanshela ke na le ngwana. That was the opportunity to say I also have 2 kids. Mara unfortunately na le mmahae we didn't work out. Say something. He decided to keep quiet ka Rose. Until I found out that way. And then after that things started spiraling out of control. The next thing Otoma ubutsu he nna ke nyaka o nyala Sthepu. O nyaka o nyala Sthepu.
Okay. The conversation ngifukwa ukuthi iqala kuphi ivela kanjani or umuntu usuka ayiveze izijoke or nesibukelele something on TV ayiveze or into ihleli nje yakutshela nje ukuthi azini.
I started noticing vele hore what disappear. Sometimes utlo butsu hore hi flight e delayile or whatever. Ha bui hi. And this one wa phone. At some point when you read conversations mo phone ya hai wa bona hore o di deletile ne mara mo wa utlwa re mo ne ba bua. So at some point I found a conversation mo phone ya hai ere but when you wanted to sleep over you would knock on the window. Wa bona hore batho ba ne ba lwana. Conversation ya nentsi ba lwana. So if you see something like that you understand hore motho a roba le hai. O ya ko yena o. Aba? And then wa butsa kanti pila ho etsahalang. And the answer you'd get was motho nna ke moni the only person o ke mmatlang ke ngwana. O batla ngwana? Yeah. Okay. So now there's this mother of the child. Wena o runya ko dula le ngwana or you want to have access to the child hore atlo visit mo ntlong. Okay, let's have a meeting. I get that's the only sensible thing to do. This woman doesn't know me. And if you ngwana o utlo tlamo, she must be comfortable enough to know who I'll take care of the child. Akere. So a re beng le meeting. O ka etsa meeting. Jololo. Jololo. And then it's only natural when you see things like this. O tlo thoma ebile o threaten le o like o ha bua nnete. O thoma o bua le o re wena motho modimo ka ha ke tlhakana le wena ke tla o raha. Because o busy le motho and ka o fela le a hana. Ha bona. To a point one day ke nna o ke dutse, I think true caller ne le hona ikena back in those days. Yeah. And you could access somebody's social media through true caller. One day ke nna o ke relaxed, I'm scrolling through my phone ke kena mo Zio. One thing bula Facebook ya hae. Ke bule Facebook. Ke crea a picture. Oh, there's a day before ke bona picture, there's a day mo motho wa ka a tswileng. A khithile ka Seswati. Swati. Head to toe. Dimbatata Seswati. How o ya ka hae ke ya lenyalong le chomi ya ka mang. A tsamaye the whole day. Ha boya lady. Ha tla re bone phela di picture tsa lenyalo. Jololo di picture tsa lenyalo. How bathung di picture tsa lenyalo di kae? Hai re latlhelane mo tseleng le ntshebe azang ra tlhola re tlhakana he nna ebile I spend the day go Phethweni. Ow. Le latlhelane jwang le na le di phone, like couldn't you call it? I never sa tshwara di phone he so aka fitla le go lenyalong.
How?
Oh, so you decided or we Phethweni ya na okay decided or go spend the day go Phethweni le cousin yaka. Okay. Ai ke tswe mo yona. 2 weeks later ke dutse mo he ke scrolla phone. Ke bona a picture of a mother and daughter. Ba khithile ka same Seswati. Like una nor ke adlala, I'll show you my phone. Ba khithile ka same Seswati ba positse mo koloing ya chomi ya hae. A tswileng I driver.
How?
Ne? Yena ayo mo. It's just the mother and the child. Same Seswati, same dimbatata, same everything.
So lo muntu wenza his and hers.
Yay. Mikiri mechik azang katla ka mechali yena nna msadi yae.
Ai itshenda ya but
Yo, ba mechitse. Wetsi ka share picture ela ne. I took that picture. I took another picture of those clothes. Tse na di apere. Ke di romela chomi ya ke rai man kopa le mpontsheng maybe nna ke a tlhanya. Mpontsheng mo hore ho etsahalang. A friend of mine ora wa leba ka coincidence. There's no such, but ba ne ba le together. Ai go botsa ke re o hanne. He denied it and o kula bona ha ke mmitsa. Babe itlamo. Ha dula fatshe mo ke re no na le batho ba. O kula bona the shock. Yeah, like where did you get this? I shiver hi no ne re se ka o fela. Ai na ke khale ke sa moni mtho ke na le mengwaga ke sa moni bila re boledisane no ne re se ka o fela. Sere o sure? No ne ke sna le yena na ke tsibi. Oh okay. I ke tsia phone. Call the same person. Zero way. I see man le aperdi di two piece man le mechitse. Hayi mina lo bekuyi family in event lo muntu dala ngamgcina ekhaya bazisihlukene.
Wona uyaphila.
Wapi hali yena girl. Ekhaya bazisihlukene mina. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Wabona when a person starts acting ukari wa gafa. One thing about me, you have to know. I engage with people ka energy. I feel your energy when it changes. I might not say anything to you, but I can feel it when it changes. And mudimu, na mudimu amponza. Kesadi kilukontlung. Not bothering anyone. I was not going anywhere. Kilukontlung. All these things were coming to me. There was a time, mo natsamaya, my husband natsamaya ka koloi. Abeile wabana libanta la heavyweight lifting. That belt ali hengile mo sitting, ya passenger seat. Miguel posts a picture in the car with this belt on the headrest. So, selfie ne, we post them on WhatsApp. Remember I have her numbers. I can see. Ke ibona picture el. Ke re mo motho mo kolong ya hao. I live. Just like that ke re wena, you've been driving for a year. ka lepanta le dutse on the headrest ya passenger seat. Ngiyabuza ngai how bathong abuti. Sinepe se phela this is in your car.
Yeah.
Muthu no asikoloi yaka. To this point I had even started including his mother more in our stuff. This is what I'm seeing, this is how I'm being treated, and the mother tries to talk to him. So I even sent the mother this picture. This is the picture I'm seeing. And this is his car. Wahan. And I have a similar picture that I took in his car years before, in the same seat. So you can't say this is not it. Because lebanta lekila how? There's no other car that looks like this, that has this belt on the passenger seat.
So, in the balance times, if we are around.
Yeah. Again, now you start noticing there's somebody else. And you start asking, Unyagang he. What do you want? Why say you go mutung? Or because clearly you spend time with this person that you pretend not to be seeing. Kids the SMS again, kids the phone call. And then you get accused, why digger into my past? Why when I digger into my I'm digging into your past. Past day you phone maubani on a new number, ibile. There was a point where he changed his number. If this is your past, where did he get the number that you changed 4 days ago? Clearly, wabulela le na mutu almost. And it wasn't this one, Ali one. There was other people as well.
More phone calls, more
phone calls, more girls. There was another one. All na bereka ko airport. It was part of the staff I transported. Girl at one point wrote me a long message. Hey, stay away from my dreams. I dream about you these days. How? You are the one dating my husband. Now it's my fault now because you dream about me. It's your conscience telling you you're doing something wrong. Guy.
And all this time, are you came for mine?
You can name one. Even yari 2-piece mechi. How nali I do melang. Even in the car, nothing I for mine.
So umfurukwazi zonke lezi zoma yenza iliphi point la serious so feel ukuthi now lento serious, now you're an affected, now inkinga in your life.
Thing is, hey, when you are married, who banale problem? Ne? Because you're thinking, how do I tell my parents that we have a problem? With this guy who's as cool as a cucumber, Nami, I'm not even telling anyone at home which I'm experiencing problems with this person. The only people that know are my friends and the mother. Because my birthdays come and go. SMS, happy birthday, that's it. When you try that's where I learned to go to. You can never teach somebody how to treat you. You will show them. Because birthday I get June, October. So when your birthday comes, or even when I don't have money, I'm cooking, I'm doing all these things, something to show appreciation on your birthday. October, happy birthday. That's it. Left to the whole day.
Sure.
That's it.
So lento le iqhubeka.
Yeah, iqhubeka. And the worst part, now when I need to go out, it becomes a problem. Yeah, don't forget umusadi ya motho. Hey, nna ke na mosadi o tlo dulang ko ntle o fitlhella bosiu. How? Why do you feel the need to remind me I'm your wife? Is it because you forget how tsamai? So that's the kind of life I've lived with him. The nice thing about ladies, we announce months before. On this day.
Yeah.
You announce before. Oh, okay. Come that day. Out of thin air. Yeah, no. Hey, like I'm going to have lunch with my friends. To a point where there's days where he knows very well I don't have the key to the gate. I key. I've had to jump over the gate at one time. Most of the time, these things happen. This friend of mine, shame. Every time Kifilo, such things would happen. How Kifilo is dropping me off, Pela Kirkibula, Katie, Kilo. Kifilo, Katie Pela Kilo. What are we gonna do now? And I jump, my friend. I can now. I'm a married woman. Mutu kill a gate. Now I had to jump over the gate to kick in a control. I keep jumping. How we are crack it? We're frustrated. Hey, another time, kina okitswile, ukwatile, ukia munyako. Oh, girls trip. We went to Likifile to Mall of Africa Reloshebela movie. Yeah. Unfortunately, Harifika, the movie had started, so we had to wait for the next one. So we took longer. Yeah. So now Ribuya Busukibo past 9:10, coming back. Aibo, ukile munyako. Kiamu phone, wa mujor mutu utsukhile. He's awake. Like, but why did you leave your keys on the door? Tonsiki can kirkibula mnyako ukile. How? But with this guy. Kifon like if you come back. Yeah. The only way for me to enter this house kika sliding door. So kifilo at least a scoof driver se flat. Pero kitla ba magaiva no. Kitla kera jaka.
So you had to do that again?
So kinali kiata butler the sliding door. So now I can't open it from the outside. The only way could ki flippe gas spanner se flat. Kifilo comes back, gives me spanner kiabula sliding door kia kena ka muntu. Ha ki bula ka mora ki o to motsematlo. How o kietseng mo monyako. Tu. And one thing about my husband, ha ikwatisitse. Ke re o tla robala mo. Wa robala mo. He won't even touch you even by mistake. Sure. If I put it on this week, I'm not talking to you. He will sleep there. I robetso so. Kale saitile. He'll even wake up tomorrow. Ka saiti yona eo.
And now knowing what's happening, so yeah, understand that.
Bona.
Why am I slowly yenze lo?
Yeah. Utarwa mutinta a pushel tsola ha wale latlhelekwa. Okay. All right. So you get to see, oh, okay, khantu so. And all the time, I can tell you, all the time, he would never admit to doing anything wrong. Never. Not even once. Leha ek SMS ka kena ere baby. Tla ra ke re ba batse ba banyana ba ke ba transport ba mpitsa baby. How why are you comfortable ka ba senana ba transport ba o bitsang baby? Ha bona. Hono mara nna ke reng he a ke re ke the way ba nyaka go mpitsa ka teng. Okay. So it continues like that until one point armonna no nna ke nana or ke nyale tip. Wena una le bokae? At this point, I'm the only one working a decent, stable job. Yeah. Meaning, should anything happen, because we don't have cash. I'm the only one with a pay slip. How koloya haya staff irobeha inyaka ulukisiwa. Na tshwantsiki ko bank ko kupa chelete. Hore koloi iluki.
Do you think that played some role good relationship in my dynamics with you? You are the one actually or provide a little security. And it wasn't an issue.
It wasn't really an issue, but you'll never know because people hide how they feel. Now I never made him feel anyway. Harriya grocerying every month, literally we would go together. Utla push a trolley naki topetse ki ditopang. Every month without fail. And then wabatse ba basadi ba jwang mo dithiling. Yo I grocerying ga ke I inteng ipatala esusunga ungathuki. Indlu nabantwana neikolo zipatalwa uyi mina ngithenga ukudla kuphela knowing very well hore kontlung I do way much more ke nna ke patalang rent ke nna ke patalang school fees sa bana ke nna ke patalang this transport and all of that. But then when we are together nobody knew the dynamics of our relationship. Sure. So even outside my family didn't know half the things that I experienced.
Sure. So ngifuna ungiteke now Tebogo to a moment esingaya today, right? Ukuthi now njengoba umfelokazi, right? Ngifuna wazi now sekwenzeka zonke lezo zinto. What leads to the position now or lesimo kuso manje?
2016 Wilakula. 2016 I think mid 2016. Nibizani ibandi. shingles in English. So utswa lepanta. Obviously it starts here. Ya spread until like a momorago. When you Google shingles, it's because of a weakened immune system. Yeah? Mostly due to cancer or HIV.
Yeah.
Yeah? But then when you are married to a person, you can't run to HIV.
Yeah. Kanjani?
No. You're thinking, maybe kike stress or something. As for Pantaleo, now he's bedridden, he can't do anything. Ke nna ke drivang jwanong ke transport of staff ubosiu.
So uyasebenza.
Yeah.
And then uphinde transport.
Yeah. So ke nna ke transportang staff ubosiu, ke nna ke latlhang batho ba Debonese, ke ba isa kwa. That's it. A fole abe sharp. Yeah. All this time ya tsamaya mengwaga ya tsamaya. 2016 I was unemployed actually for some time. Because nekirekisa property, I had resigned from the bank and then I sold property for a while. And then with property you have to be very patient because you don't get an income, yes, salary, commission. Yeah. So some months people don't qualify for houses. People don't rent or don't qualify to rent. So how create that much money from a salary every month? So at some point my car had to be repossessed. So now resetska koloye one, the Avanza. Yeah. So I had to be at home for some time, later parts of 2016. So 2017 I get a job. I start working for a company iberekelang Eskom. So I was there for some time. So things were better more. But then you can see where there's changes in a person's body. Because this person was big, not gym. So now he starts losing weight, but it's so subtle. But then no, I get like such gym that much and all of that. So, but I don't notice. He still does his own thing. He still lies about everything. Busy. No, Muti never agrees there's something wrong. Every time I get when I push. Yeah, I get it. It's always me. Every time get now pause. Yeah. Until to a point one day, really high in the middle of the night. And then a girl wa phone. Ki emelle ke re ke tshwara phone. Ha ke re yena o pretend o ka ra o robetse. So ke a tsoha, I mean you are my husband. Na problem ya ka gore if we are married, there is nothing that should be private between us, including your cell phone. Why is your cell phone more private than your private parts in marriage? Your private parts are freely available to anybody out there. Yeah. Clearly. True that. Yeah. Mara phone ya how e private. No, that I don't understand. Yeah. So ke a tsogana because ke o itshwisitse mo phone ya lla. Ke nna o ke a tso. Ha ke re ke a itshwara azanga pusha ke motho so. Am pusha ka wela kwa phone ya wela kwa. Ha la tinna o ya go phone. Wa itshwara phone ya ka. Hayibo. Kanti akere no robetse mole. Yeah, no mara ha una right ya tshwara phone ya ka. Phone ya ka e private. Batho ngwena. Kanti ho etsahalang mo? Ai, ke tlohele, ke tswe mo yona. Now we get to 2018. 2018 visibly o lositse mmele. Asali mothola re motloetseng, he's little smaller, but he still looks buff. O sa bonahala le sharp. Wa thoma wa lwalanyana. No man, ish ke tshwara ke tlhogo, ke tshwara ke eng, ke tshwara ke eng. How? Okay. Still, I'm still me. I'm still doing everything that I'm doing. Nobody knows what's happening between us. Go habo, le go high. I've even stopped communicating le mama hai ka mathatara na ba phone ka very sharp. Every time I phone very sharp. Come 2019 January now, utswa ditso. Psoriasis all over his body, everywhere. His whole torso, his head. Now unali di so kar di pudi. But a re ye doctor. Now ki bereka ke le one, so it's me and the kids on the medical aid because now he's an adult. So tshwantse a patele the same rate as me, so I can't afford to put him on my medical aid. So ke ena le one as na medical aid. Now it means hore tshwantse re ka ire clinicing, government clinic. Anyaki doesn't want to do that. But home, a re ye clinicing here, wa kula, no ai ke sharp ke tla doctor. Obviously, when you go to a private doctor, they don't start by saying, let's do an HIV test.
Yeah.
They do that at a government clinic. Yeah? Sharp. Aye kwao, ba mo fe ditlhare, a tshatse, di be dry, these things di tloge. But hasa I be sharp. Next thing, this psoriasis comes motsebeng around February. So tsebe ya hae e thoma ho bola. Bathong a re ye doctor, motho a batle. March, he starts coughing now. Badly, you got motho tshwere ke TB. He's coughing. Bathong a re ye doctor. Anya go ya doctor. A re ye clinicing until his friend intervened. Friend ya hae has a wife who's a nurse. A re mo ena, okay, ke tla bua le fro man ru etsetse plan he o ska yema mo queuing he. At least o tla fihla kwa o tla attend. At least re khone o tseba what's wrong with you, because now o losetse weight visibly, wa mona o losetse weight. And we're thinking maybe una le TB, maybe una le depression, because I be reki at this point o dutse ka montlumo. Wa bona. I dumele eventually we go to Sangweni clinic. It's a Friday. Re are really too. A ke re wa ba bona batho ha ba mmona motho. Ba mo shebe fela. O right mara. Ba mo tseye madi, ba re no, wait ke re ka se mo test but re tlo mo referela go sepetlele. He's very sick, he needs to be attended to. Okay, ana bothata. Papa we, ba o biletse ambulance or re tla sepetlele ka osana. A re no, ke tla ya sepetlele ka osana re tsamaye re lo robala go ntlong. Oh, okay. Ba mo kenye drip eo, e etse ntwe e etsang ho be sharp. Re tsamaye he, ro robala go ntlong. Saturday morning, ke motsose hantle, re apeye porridge, whatever he eats, we go to the hospital. The first doctor that we saw said to me, you know when they come like this, it's HIV, right? Ke mo shebe re ha doctor. Kanti.
Utshela wena.
Eh, utshela mina. It could be just TB. I don't know. It's usually HIV. Ritswa ka mo rooming eo. We go to another room, but test. This lady, I want to test you guys. Is it okay now? It's fine. But say Maria Hai, the test hai iska inside the results sharp. They said it was inconclusive. Yaka it's really negative. So I keep a comfortable looking sharp. The following day is the sun. Bamu admit vele ko sepetlele, but I know you are sick. Ibile because he was now suffering from memory loss. Nyana abe confused. Neba nahana ro una le. What's this now? Now I forget this disease now. Not dementia. This disease and it was very common back in the day. I forget now the name. I'll remember. Bamutsie fluids from the spine. Banyaka testa hori asiona now. Hi, Sunday I go visit him. Lichomi akatumi koko spetlel. We were friends vele. To me, my person and I. So we were kind of friends that are close. That Sunday, completely memory lost. He doesn't remember where he is. Instead, blame I'm trying to explain to him, man, no. Kwena o leng mo sepetlele nna ke o shile mo sepetlele mabane ka ya hae o admit o mo sepetlele no ha bone le mo sepetlele ha bone nix completely lost ke ya go di nursing ke hai man phela motho ha hopole nix today na se so ha ke mshia mabane Nese e nngwe e re o ska etsa phoso eo phela ba re ba mo discharge ka osane. So you better make sure hore hoseng when the doctors do their rounds you are here. Ke re phela completely o le ha bone next ba re come here first thing tomorrow morning. Monday morning ke a tlhapa ke lukisa bana ba ya sekolong le nna ke re ke a sepetlele. Ke fitla ke dula ko sepetlele. I have a friend of mine who's a student nurse kwao. Comes and sits with me. Ke santsane ke emetse doctor. A re bile we ra ipuela fela. Hai wa kena ka kwa le ena go weteng wa mo check. Hai o teng o robetse mo mpeteng o sharp. Oh okay sharp. Ai re dule. Then the nurse calls me. Ai ke yo doctor setsa fitlhile. Oh okay ke emelle ke tsamaya. How doctor? Ke a utlwela re le discharge motho o phela motho o confused ho etsahalang. He was attended by 2 physicians. There was a senior physician Mo and a student doctor. So the student doctor is white. The student doctor checkile story. Do you know your name? Araba sharp. Yeah, my name is who. Do you know where you are? Oh, Bamutso, do you know where you live? Arabe gore wa tseba kwa dulang. Fine sharp. So the student doctor was like, no, he's fine. Get Dr. Balwe. What's wrong with this person? Because the person is confused. Dr. R, how? How Tsibi? I was like, no. Ankombe mo filing ya high. He didn't even say anything, that doctor. He just showed me into the file. Hankomba, it says HIV positive, CD4 count 2. How? Doctor. Doctor, I tested negative, mabani, habar test. What is this? I don't know. Ke phela motho o confused now. Ke re mutse soro ko kae because mabani nasa tseboro ko kae. The doctor mutse sore baba o mo kae? Ha ke mo sangweni clinic. O fitlhile ne? Ha ke fitlhile today. He got admitted on a Saturday, mabani. Sunday he didn't remember. Monday he still doesn't remember where he is. Mara how mutsware kwena manglibitsola he knows. Do you know where you live? He'll tell you where he lives. Everything else blank. So the doctor hi, no, something is wrong here. We'll run more tests, but are some discharge. Oh, okay.
Sure.
So if I just walk out. My friend unsala ka momrao. How bari? I just turned and said to her, CD4 count ki 2, and continued walking. Mapito was coming behind me, crying herself. Now I was numb. I couldn't even cry. I couldn't even do anything. She was crying out, are you serious? Get serious. Doctor CD4 count ya ki 2. When a CD4 count is considered normal, ki 250. Ya ki 2. 1, 2. What's working? It doesn't help for me to panic now. My pizza. Go our family doctor go test because never this rapid one. Test because now I'm fine. Yeah. I'm not sick. He's the only one who's sick and he's visibly sick. Not sharp. I'm still healthy. At least if it's there, then I know what to do. Yeah. It's it's our normal family doctor. Kibwali the nurse when Munaka, my husband, Olo Mutsibang, who got Tembisa hospital right now with a CD4 count of 2. Kikopa huru unsiema di now. Ritsebo rikiemikai. Kwena since amagetse anchebile so the nurse go docting. Have it no. Retlatsia madi now. Ketla rumela ko lab and mark them urgent. Kau sign. I'll call you with the results, definitely. Sharp. Later on, visiting hours, morning or sharp, ribuye. Following morning, Kwena calls me, hi, you are fine. Your results are still negative. Serious. I don't know, who sharp. Retla fitisa a few weeks. After a month, you'll come back and test again. But for now, your results are fine. Yeah. And then I get comfortable. I mean, I've been living with this person. Now I'm starting back to 2016. That was his body's sign of saying something is wrong. The immune system is under attack. But then, he'll make you a little dumb. Because that is something that I could have picked up on at that time. But then I told myself, there's no way. HIV, guy. And then, now he's sick. He's really sick, hospital. Then we find out, after they run more tests, no man, he has a fungal lung infection. That's why Nansa khotlola for this long. The fungus has now eaten his lungs. So basically, asana the lungs. There's extrapulmonary TB. So this TB, it travels throughout your bones. Ijamarab. He has extrapulmonary TB. He basically doesn't have an immune system. Nothing. He's sick. Bamu discharge him.
State.
Yeah. Wabana this student doctor. If I could, I would send a message to this doctor. Next time, be a little more patient with people. Because every time Nanya go discharge, like all the time, the only thing she would say, well, he's terminally ill. There's nothing we can do about it. So you have to take him home.
Sure.
I would discharge a fine on the 28th of June. I think it was a Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he's okay. Kadi one, Kimuisa ko Masakane clinic now. So they have to assess him and now put him on ARVs. 1st of July, 2019. Harifitla kwao, Masakane haba sanzani bamu assessor. His blood sugar is very low. He had to be injected glucose immediately. So then assessment didn't go well. He had to be readmitted again. Kadi July. So now he's back to the ward. Bamu admitile happy. I go and tell Pela since that first time, I get he's HIV positive. He hasn't said anything to his parents. Every time mona his father and the stepmom, he doesn't say anything.
So Abaz.
Bano bona motho alwala. Ke ammotsa o tlo bolela neng? Hayi ke tlo ba sharp ke tla ba botsa. I'm thinking to myself.
Okay, besides abazali bakhe, kuwe khona into ayishoyo.
Nothing.
Ngale situation.
Nothing at all. Nothing. I even asked, where did you get this? What happened? How? But when you got no chia kontlungili one utsamaya uya wherever now nchile kontlung so no tshwantse re lwalerele too.
Sure.
He never said anything. One thing about me, when I'm in a situation, I don't react.
Yeah.
I go numb. I deal with the problem. So I was just numb, taking care of him. So I go but situation is so mawe papa mutola o positive. Basically he needs a lot of support. Mwaling hana immune system at all. Anything can take him. So hali yako yena, at least be a little patient le understand utswa alimoka. Because sometimes you get to the hospital, he's lost his mind completely. Don't make sense. Things that you don't even know how, and then so they understood vele haba ya go spetlele bona, they are a little more gentle because they try to buy this and that. Try ke a botsisa still batho motho wa modimo re fitlhile jwang na ke tsebe hey maybe in tshwere before ke tlhakana le wena. How batho I was pregnant re testile na kwela ke le pregnant, you were negative, I was negative. What happened? Next two.
So lama cause bewangena sewastopile now mase kuna le situation ekhona.
Astopile but But Mugele Mama Rose phone Kim phone it basically when he got admitted. Hey, Papa ngwana hao ke yo mo phela. This is what's happening. Mugela re bengcela ukumbona. Papa tenga ayinya ko bona ke motho. Wahana. He's never allowed anybody to see him outside of family because of the way necessary change thing. Because bulwetsi butla change again. Now he's no longer that buff big guy on Ajima. He's very thin now. His skin color change. He's pitch black now. Yabona. Anya ko bona ke motho. Yamotsakara ai girl motho wa hana. Now there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Ngasutlise mo yena sanya ko room mon. Yabona.
Yeah.
So it was like that. And
so now makwenzeka konke lokho, right? Ngifuna now say to that final day, right? When now you got the news ukuthi actually umuntu so bowukhona wobonile like what happened, uye wafonela was witnessele
the Sunday before kadi 13 no kadi 14 that Sunday the 14th of July re mo visitile as per normal go hospital, but this time he was chained to the bed. Bamu lokile to the bed. Arobet. That day, azanga tsoga, he never spoke to us that day. He was just sleeping. So kibutsa the senior nurse mola kere, hey, Mike, kiabona le mofile what happened? But he was a bit restless, maban. We found him kamufasa mipete ya the patient at some point. So we had to restrain him. He was very restless. Waba. Oh, I get kushish. But no, he's very ill at this point. So that's why ubona remove there's nothing big. It's just that we hallucinate. At some point, unyaka utaba ubona dilo, he wants to run. So that's why remove betting. So that Sunday, he never spoke. Ubutsi matlo fela a few minutes haiwani, and then rabi rimshia jwalo. That night, every night ka 12 ke a rapela. So I woke up as per normal, alarm ya ka intsusa ka 12 o'clock ke a rapela. As soon as ke re amen, phone again. And a true caller itla ubotsa Tembisa Hospital. Ke a arabe, hello. Ah sesi ke kopa Tebogo Mahlanya, ke re ke ena buang. O Tebogo ko founela mabapi le kgothatso. Ha o etsahala mara no o ska panica. Ne re fela ho seng ha o tsoha. Ukitimele mo hospital because he needs to be rushed to ICU. So re nyaka re o sign di 1 2 3. Oh, okay, a ona bothata. Ho seng ke tsoha normally ke tlhapisa bana ba ya sekolong ke tsamaya ke le one ke ya sepetlele. Ha ke kena fela ka monyako ko sepetlele. The nurse ko warding ya hae. But how? O sa buile o le one. Tshwantse ke tle le mang? But when every day ko wena o le one ka di visiting hours ko wena o kitimang le motho everywhere. Kante batho ba go heno ba kae? For yeng ba ile mebereko ma ke re ke nna msadi ya hae ke nna ke le nteng. But okay kena ka mo officing ka mo dula fase ka mo officing. Ke kene ke dule fatshe. Man ke a bona man, these people abantshebe le mo matlhong di nurse ke mo hi I'll see ba kena ba etsa ntho tsa ba di etsang batho ba tsamaya. Ba romele the male nurse again. Lena ha kena sesi man o kae o bula file wa ikwala o right ke right lena le kae a ke re bara o mmone a butu hore na kula jwang ke mmone bara abuti o re shile maobane ka kora 29.
Sure.
How? Yeah, there was nothing we couldn't do. He had heart failure. Well, from how he was suffering, his lung had collapsed completely. So, abanali heart failure. And then they certified him dead, Kora 29, on the 14th of July. I'm 28 years old, 2 kids. Now. There was a senior nurse me ola watla hey ngwanaka a ke tsebile re ke reng mo wena mara prepare yourself a ke re wa ba tseba batho ba bohadi ba change ha motho a tlhokofetse.
Sure.
So ngihleli ngizothini. But I founela ba o ka ba founelang ka hore abuti ka hore o tlhokofetse bosiu setse re mo movile to the mortuary o ka mo the hospital mortuary. So founela ba o ba founelang le etse plan le tlo mo lata. Ai okay ke founele papa hai papa we ba re ho so the father are phela ke missitse call le nna bosiu mara a ka inaga hore ke a kae. Ke ra wa le nna ba mfounetse ba re ba le founela ba le kreya, so they called me. That's why ke tlileng mo. Hai ke tse dilo tsa hae vel ba mphe plastic dikobo tsa hae everything ya hae ke tsamaye go dula ka go reception ke emele batho ba tlotlang phela. Ke nna o ke dutse mo di banking.
So what's going through your mind?
I was just numb. Now I start calling people. So now when I call, Habarking, now I start crying. Because now it's kicking in. So there were two ladies, Badutsimol. Banchebile, Kiafona, Malum. I called my uncle, Malum. Hey, Pelahotato Urobet. Ario Managa. So I start crying. But also like but jumping from those seats and jumped omungadulakam. How you insist? Gwenzagalan. Kray umienwam ushonile. Woo. Bavele ba cover bali two completely. Oh bis yo akasemncane bawo, akasemncinci bawo. Oh walla lena kamo lena kyalla in between them bang coverile bali two. I'm shaking now. I'm realizing her weight again more who fedile. It's done now. And then my father starts coming in and all the other people start coming. Le papa hai atle, we have to go in, go mortuaring here. How do you first have to sign? Well, as the spouse, sign out. I have his ID, I have everything. Rasaina di pampiri, ba mortuary ba mo prepare mo ba miamol. I've always thought it's haba stoop. But that day, I've heard who's in Napili, and then the rest of the family was behind me. Ice cold. Ice cold. You are trying to touch for the last bit of life, some warmth, something, but there was nothing. And then I moved away. Then the rest of the family came, and then Libona Batloch. We bamu puta bamu kenya kamara heshi. Ekoluya mosharia tsamai. And that was it.
That moment, ngakumbula mina makushona baba, right? Sambona qeda ukushona when he was still warm, and then sambona ke makumele somgeze, which was a different now.
Yeah.
For me, that's when it hit me.
Yeah.
Because
yeah. It's the scariest thing, eh? Because but this state, I don't know the state. It's scary because he's lifeless, he's just laying there. His eyes naturally, they wouldn't fully closed. So at that point, his eyes were not fully closed. Nearly like half closed as per usual. So shake but wabada, he's cold. So so as soon as that's when I broke down and cried. Papa Haile, my father, were there, then Baba Bankemi Sambo. Then we had to go home now and discuss what are we doing.
So, right? Abe true, Magati was prepared.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Our families are very weird. But Hela Wanyala Nalimotu Wadula Lena 20 years. As soon as I clockofala, Papa Hayori, King Wanaka. Wana how drunk and yet. We've been married for 7 years now. King Wana how drunk. He happy but from Liberi Abe Tsanda Rebuluke go high. Hi. Ko ha habo ki momos. His parents divorced. Father remarried, mother was remarried somewhere else. But then ntlo ya habo ke yone e rileng mo yona. So ha le re hae le ra kae? Ko heno. Because ke ko habo papa hae where he was buried. So I was like, no. I don't see the reason why tshwantse re ye hae ro boloka. Ko heno papa. Whereas mo habo ilimo ha mma ile papa hae ke kamo. The father was like, no. If you look a ro boloka ko hae, then ba halekala kala tshwantse batlo tshwara mmereko ka mo ha Mahlanya. Uge wa ibona phile. It can happen. Yeah. So basically we were forced to go and bury ko hae ha Matlala. Fine. There's nothing I can do. I eventually agreed ra tsamaya o boloka ko hae. But then you have to understand gore at that point he keeps on referring hape motho ke ngwanaka. Ke ngwana hao jwang? And me with my brain functioning kana go I'm thinking haibo a o sa hopola hore le rumilwe jwale ka ba Mahlanya la o ntsha mahadi kwa le kala. So how do you sit there and say ke ngwanaka? Hape motho ke ngwanaka he ke nna tshwantse ke mmoloke. Ke ngwana hao. Na kwela sokola a phela a o gopela thusho no palla go mo thusha. Today you remember hore ke ngwana hao. A tlhokofetse.
So uvumile eventually bahamba izintando yabo. So I want to understand ukuthi kugcina lapho where bazama control the situation or noma sele baqedile. There's more now futhi. There's
more. Bayitsamaile baya high. So they expected me to arrive a few days earlier. My uncle was like, no. I can reboloka ka Saturday. Re tlo tloha mo ka Friday, we'll arrive on Friday. And then re tla boloka ka Saturday. So obviously rena from a church background, there's things that we don't do culturally. Yeah. So re fihlile kwa on a Friday ka 3. Ko mahaeng setopo se tsena ka 5 ka bojarete. Because obviously there's a distance from town to high. So stopo se ka se roba le toropong and then travel in the morning. So ba tlisa stopo Friday evening. Ka 5 stopo se tsena. So re tsene ka 3. Obviously ke ntwa already. Hore why atla ka Friday? Why atla le sa mokwala ka kubo? Those things like that. So we arrived to a hostile environment. Basare ba re sekisa mo he hore hao he nkanile hona le fitlang he happen re ipuditse hore o tla fitla eli matrase ha sowe. I mean if you lore matrase ke culture ya lona a ke re lena le ba gekolo why ho sna bo magogo ba ba dutseng mo matraseng ao he at least ba emetse nna why swantse a emele hore awe ha nna ke fitla. I get if it's something that you practice mo gekolo wa ka mo high o tshwantse a dule mo le nna. I get so why swantse matrase ao a le a emele nna ke fitla. For me church wise how I grew up we don't do that. A re wisi matrase modimo ha tsere sailing sa high o tsere sailing sa high. I get nobody chooses to live as much as nobody chooses to die. That's the only secret ya modimo eo. Hore he will bring life and he will also take life, and that he will not discuss with anybody. Modimo tsere sailing sa high. That's it.
Sure.
So we buried as per their customs, as per everything they wanted to do. Hwa bulukiwa ra fetsa o boloka. They expected me to stay behind. My uncle was like, there's no way. Koloi e ke tseneng ka yona le batho ba ne ke dutse le bona ka mo koloing eo ke tlotswa today le bona. So go high obviously re boloka vroeg. Ka bo 9 o'clock we are in the graveyard, everything is done, we are out. So ka bo past 9 setse re boetse ko ntlong re dutse ko ntlong. Obviously nobody is talking to me. Literally batho ba ya kwa. It's just my relatives and my friends and people, colleagues that have come to support that come ka mo ntlong batlo how sharp na setse re tsamaya he or whatever the case. Anybody else in the family? No. We were not even offered food on that day.
Sure.
Yeah, funeral. Nobody cared if renwile metsi or regile or nothing. People were just busy doing their own thing.
So, if you understand that, right? But beyond that moment, right? Yimapha challenges ofila ukuthi ifamily waphosile to wena neingane zakho, you know, or but after sicedile nje ukuthi simbeke sigcina lapho ukhluba, after lapho uqhubeka nempilo yakho.
No, after that I went back home obviously on the same day, but nobody has ever contacted me from his side of the family till today. Nobody has said anything. I don't know. Sure. I've tried because I've called my father-in-law several times before. Hey, busy, hey, what. Till to this day, he's never come back to me or anything. And the time my husband I spetlele, that avanza neluko mechanic. So my father-in-law really busy ka ditaba tsa poloko. A re tsamaye rola ta koloi ko mechanic itlo dula ka mo jareteng. Then re tla ibona after dilo tsa poloko. Since koloi eo e sa le ko jareteng.
Namanje.
Till today, it's never come back to me. They've never said anything about the car to me. Nothing. They've no communication up until today. Nothing at all. Not even litsuhile le right banabaka next.
And
like us, nothing. Hey.
To that.
So from that day till today, it's gonna be 2 years. Got the 14th of July this month. He passed away. Nothing. No. Not even like I. Even if you don't care about me, bana. Yeah. At least the butsaka bana. Bana ba right na. Ba cope la tlela ke papa bona. Nix.
So right? As per the name of the show, like what keeps you going? Like in spite of that, good family agubo. Like iglaqazile abantu bayiphilela like abanandaba nangengane zabo like yini ekwenza ube lo muntu ngoba ku social media yakulandela like uyaphila yangithola you doing great stuff now, uku fitness and all those things. Yini that one thing ekwenza ukuthi azini usukuma uthabatha uthi azini okwenzekile kwenzekile. I need to live for myself, I need to live for abantwana bami.
I mean, one thing about my family, arina chelete, but my family will support you. They'll be there. If they have to be there, they'll be there. So it's my family that have always carried me. Like I told you in the beginning, I have 2 sets of parents. I have my mom and stepfather. I have my dad and my stepmom. So every December, my dad go Polokwane takes the kids. Every December, my kids go to my dad, and then I get to be alone and just process it now. Because how as much as things get hard, my kids have never seen me cry. And take a pillow and scream into the pillow and cry and then wipe my tears and go attend to the kids. They've never seen me cry, not even one day. But then my father taking these kids every December allows me to process. My family has always been there and supporter here and there. But then my only source has always been God. I've always referred to God for everything.
Yeah.
So I've just told myself, hore, moto kwa mudi. I was 22 when I met him. He was 25. We were not that far apart by age. He was 3 years older than I am. He was 25. Obviously. Yeah. So I have no rights to this person. Yes, he did what he did.
Yeah.
By choice or by circumstance, he did what he did. He failed me in many ways that I cannot even start to describe.
Yeah.
But he was still a human being. Mona, I had told myself, there's nothing I can do.
No.
But then, if we are fallen, by the time it's right, then we're gonna separate. But then Mudimu decided to, you've seen through a lot. So the first thing is to accept what you cannot change. So accepting was the first point. Yes, it was bad. Mara, you can't stop Mudimura at sailing Sahai.
Yeah.
So I just allowed myself to feel that pain. A lot of people, like Ikichor, now when I'm faced with something, I don't deal with the emotions that come with what I am facing. I go numb and deal with the problem. So that was the only time when I started going back now.
Yeah.
Yo, on this day, Batung on this day, I could have noticed this. Kohona diitla. So now I'm starting to process Dilota 5 years back. 5 years back, it's only now I'm starting to process this and that and that. But then you will blame yourself.
Yeah.
Wabana that blame ya hore what's when nkebe ke ska mo tlohela man a hane o ya doctoring nkabe ke mo hapelleditse. But there's nothing you can do. At the end of the day, you have to remember hore I was dealing with an adult. And how motho a ra kenya ku ya doctoring nka se mo kuke.
Yeah.
I can't physically drag you to the doctor. And that's what makes me still today believe hore he knew.
Yeah.
He knew what was wrong with him, and he knew that me finding out was going to be the end of us. So the best way to keep me is to keep quiet.
So while on that note, right, sesivala, right, ngifuna umuntu out there ubukela isitori sakho, umuntu ku-situation akuyo, khona umuntu empilo yakhe ebanjwe ukuthi umuntu ungenza ubuhlungu akazange axolisa. Impilo yakhe ime nje ngalokho.
Yeah.
So throughout our conversation, akukho la your husband aye waxolisa kuwo for anything akwenze yona until kuze kufike isimo sokuthi nithole ukuthi unegciwana akazange axolisa for anything, but masikhuluma la I don't sense any resentment from your side. So umuntu now impilo yakhe emiswe lokho ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi how do you deal with that? How do you move on from leyo situation?
I mean, you first of all, kaufela, we have our own issues. You first have to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be in that situation in the first place. Because dilo motho ha no trauma out of the blue. There's things that happen that give you signs, this is not good for me. But you allowed yourself to stay. In my case, I've allowed myself to stay in a marriage that was not faithful, that was not fruitful for me. But then I couldn't and say, forgive me my trespasses as I would forgive those who trespass against me. And then immediately now walk out of a marriage because now there's problems. So I had to forgive myself first. From the start until the end, everything it would pop up. This would pop up to give me an idea. Oh, this is happening. As much as Adi on. I even went back to that 2-piece situation. Kimutsi sitse happy go spetlela. Bathong nakwela o apere swati sele. And still a hand. So you have to reconcile with the fact that he's gone now. He's never going to apologize ever. So how do I now make peace with the fact that I will never get an apology from this person?
Yeah.
You start accepting what's working. I did my best. I tried my best. Peace in not even once.
Yeah.
Even after I found out who he's sick and I am not, I never treated him any differently from how I've been treating him all these years.
Yeah.
I still went to the hospital every day by myself. I still treated him as I would every time. To a point where people thought he was my brother. And I would say, no, this is my husband. People are like, husband? Look at him and look at me like, so when I go to ARV, no, I'm not sick. I've never tested positive. There's no reason for me to be taking ARVs. And I mean, if Motu Ostatilo show at the science got 2016, we are now in 2019, and I'm still negative, then it means I don't have the disease.
Yeah.
There is no way your body could be resistant for 5 years and then start showing signs got the 6th year.
Yeah.
Things like that happen. Sure. But then I just believe for Mudimu, because of how I treated myself and how I acted within the marriage. It's not because science will tell you bareke in couple despondency. If you do your research ka HIV, they'll tell you there is couple despondency. Basically, it's just a way of saying long-term sexual couples, one will test positive and one will test negative. And they will tell you there are people who are naturally resistant to the disease. But I don't want to speak about science because I'm not a scientist and I don't understand anything about science.
Yeah.
And mudimu una le mohau.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always grateful for as much as he made me walk through this.
Yeah.
Simply because I have never, not even once, disrespected this person. When you get married, you need to understand that this person is going to rule over you. After God, you bow down to the husband.
Yeah.
And I've always bowed down to him. Even bowed down. I understood who he's gonna rule over me. Even if he's doing something wrong, he is not my child to correct. That's when I always went to God to say, Mudimu waka, mitlolwe ke bona nkie. Ke tswa jwang. I never told my parents. My parents were shocked to find out setse a tlhokofetse that our it was because of HIV. They found out that way. How? Malebo. And my mom, being my mom, she can't say anything else after that. She was quiet.
Sure. I think on that note, siyabonga ukuthi ufike namhlanje ushare isitori sakho.
Yeah.
Kuma socials utholakala kuphi abantu
abalandela? Oh, well, I'm very active on Instagram. That's where you'll see my fitness lifestyle, you see my exercises, the food that I eat. Tebogo Fitness on Instagram. Tebogo Mahlanya on Twitter, Tebogo Mahlanya on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, bafethu iphelela lapho yanamhlanje sigoqa lapho. If ufuna more ulwazi ukwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani, ufuna some advice from uTebogo sekakutshela ukuthi utholakala kuphi. Isizulu story sanamhlanje. I hope ufunde a lot from it. Ngathi singahamba ngeqiniso bafethu la sihamba khona, ngathi nama in-laws ngashintsha narrative yokuthi mawushonelwe or kushona umuntu ipartner yakho ube inkinga kungabi nothando li-extend towards unabantwana. So phezu kwakho konke sibonga ukuthi ufikile washare isitori sakho. Mangabe uyaqala ukubuyela uhlelo namhlanje ungakhohlwa ukulike, ukushare, usubscribe, and shout out to DSV Studios for making this possible. So bonana kwelizayo.
Thank you.